Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to House Witch Tarot. I hope y'all had a good week, that things are coming together. We are coming up real quick on the end of February, which is crazy. I was just talking to my roommate yesterday about how January felt like the longest decade of my life, and February has gone by in what feels like 3 days. So I'm wondering if that's kind of the same for everyone else too. But while we wrap up the month and everyone's working on what they got going on, I'm going to pull a card for today's vibe. See what's happening, how we're going to round out the week. We've had a really, positive week. All the messages and stuff coming through. So I hope y'all are taking that and running with it, doing what you're supposed to. But let's see here. What's the word on the street? Ooh, okay. Interesting. So the Lovers in reverse. I feel like this might be too because I believe Venus retrograde is coming up fairly shortly, but it feels like there's a lack of communication happening with some of you, and I feel like it's going to lead to a bunch of tiffs. I'm not saying that there's directly going to be breakups, but I think that there are some things that aren't being addressed. Ooh, I heard that. I think some of you are holding or withholding information that you might be doing it because you think you're not putting someone else in harm's way, like it shouldn't matter, or you don't want to upset them by them knowing. But literally by you withholding, that's like a form of a lie. Omissions are lies, and your partner doesn't want you to lie to them. Like, they'd rather be mad about something and then figure it out with you than be mad down the line and find out that you just didn't respect them enough to tell them what was going on, to be open and honest with them, because they're your partner. They're supposed to help you work through things, even if it's uncomfortable. And I know so many people do not like having uncomfortable conversations. I've had plenty of relationships end because men did not want to have uncomfortable conversations, and then they want to come back with their tail between their legs. Guess what? No, if you couldn't do that then, I can't trust you to be the person I need you to be in a relationship now. So I would say very much so think about what it is you expect out of a relationship, what your expectations are as a partner, what you're contributing, and what your expectations are for the person that you're with, and how you want them to interact with you as much as you interact with them. Because relationships do take 100% on both sides. It's not 50-50, it's 100% on both sides. And you got to figure out what that looks like for the two of you, I would also say that I think February puts a lot of pressure on relationships, romantic relationships specifically. And I think so many people put so much effort into Valentine's Day. It's this big day, do something, whatever, make a big show of it, and then you just don't do anything after that. And I think that that's where some of you, not all of you, might be having problems, is you think that affection and outward expressions of love are only reserved for specific days of the year, right? Because you're like, well, it's Valentine's Day, I guess I should buy her a box of chocolates. Guess it's Valentine's Day, I gotta, make sure we have dinner plans, whatever that is. But this is every day. You need to be able to express to your partner in some way every day how you feel about them and that you love them. And that's verbal, that's cleaning the dishes, that's cooking dinner when you know that they're having a hard day. It's, helping around that. It's little things. People forget how important those little things are to a relationship. And it's not just big things, because if all you focus on are a few days a year, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas, I'm sorry, but your relationship is kind of flat. It's all for show, and it feels very fake. And I'm not saying that necessarily applies to everyone. If this doesn't resonate with you, then that's cool. Good for you. I'm glad that your relationship works the way that it does, but for a lot of people it doesn't. So the two big things today, I would say, if you are with someone, or there's someone that's very important to you and you aren't communicating, or you feel like they are hiding something, and I'm not saying that hiding means cheating or something big, but sometimes people feel like they have to do everything on their own, depending on what your position is in the relationship, how you normally interact with each other, and you feel like, I just have to do this, I just have to get it done, I'm not going to bother so-and-so with it. They chose to live their life with you. They want to be a part of all of the things. When you get married, assuming you participate in the vows of the Christian church or the normal vows of like what we see in a Western society, it is for better and for worse. And if you cannot address the for worse before getting into a long-term relationship, before getting married, how do you expect to interact with each other afterwards? I'm sorry, this is just very heavy on my heart, I think, because I've been having this conversation with friends of mine lately about what it means to be in a relationship and the way that we've been treated, the way that we have been let down. And a lot of that comes down to communication. A lot of that comes down to clinging to these small little breadcrumbs of moments of affection and warmth and thinking, oh, there it is, that person really does care about me, and then not getting it back for months and months and months at a time, or whatever that is. So if you're in a relationship that isn't suiting you, communicate about it. And if nothing changes, I'm sorry, I think it's time to move on. Did not mean for that to feel so heavy today, but that is what Spirit is communicating. That is everything that I heard. You don't necessarily have to have like a fast reaction to this. You don't have to see this video and immediately go storm in on your partner. That is not what I'm saying at all, but you definitely need to think through about what it is that you want out of your relationship. Do you need to change things? Because sometimes it's about us, right? It's not always about the other person, but how do those two people align? So really consider that this weekend, and I hope everything does work out. Either way, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow.